Hello everybody, welcome in. I hope you all are doing very well today. We are going to get some paints out. My draw wandering pick, Mirasaki. Welcome guys, welcome. Hope you're all having a great Wednesday. We can jump in here in just a minute. Gotta get my colors going. Alright. What's going on? You got an actual game of 40k last night. Your first full game? Oh, sweet. How was it? Did you have fun? Was your opponent good? Did you guys know the rules well? 1, 2. Okay. Those are the things that matter. Painting Helldrake today, all of the trim. Yeah, man, your Helldrake is looking gorgeous, by the way. Wandering picked the Starscape pattern on it is such a great idea. It's perfect for Thousand Suns, absolutely perfect. All right, Mirasaki, I am painting some Votann, and this is the little froggy truck here. We're going to start by putting a wash, and the wash I'm going to put on here is 50/50 Seraphim Sepia and some Flow Improver, and it's just going to go over all of the bone color. And for this one, we're not concerned if it spills over onto other things, because that gets covered. That's what we're doing. Welcome in, though. Hope you're doing well. And then when that's dry, we're going to hit pretty much all the other colors with a black wash. Except for the little vents underneath here, these little like anti-grav things. We're going to keep those unwashed, unclean. My opponent was over 100 games in this edition. Nice fluff list to help me out. And my dice were on fire and his were not. Yeah, that's okay. If he's played over 100 games this edition, like, the dude understands. And good. I'm glad he was a good opponent for your first full game. That's the way it should be. You know, first one's free and all, right? Like the first win. Hey JJ, what's going on? How are you doing this morning? I'm doing great. We are just gonna be painting Votann while washes are drying. I have a little side thing I'm gonna be working on, but like that color gray. It's called Bone by Pro Acryl, made by Monument Hobbies. That's this color. It's maybe a little warmer in person. As far as a color goes, a little closer to an ivory, but it's a nice color. Again, we're not too concerned about a lot of spill over here. It's okay if it does. It'll be the black wash that we're more concerned about. Yeah, we'll need to give this a little bit of time to dry. Before we move on to the next wash, but we're going to try to finish this little tank today. And it's basically, if the dry times cooperate with us, then we'll be able to finish it. If they don't, then be bad for us, I guess. We finish it tomorrow. Pro Curl's great. Yeah, it is. Goes really well in the mini. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Nice. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Pro Acryl. The color scheme's good. So this is a commission that I've been painting for this gentleman. I have painted a lot of Votann minis for him, and originally the color scheme was based off of a Duncan Rhodes video. And I think the video is like how to choose a color scheme, and he was using a Votann mini as his example, and he comes up with this cool like ivory armor, and then there's like red and orange accents and everything on the mini. That's really cool. It looks like an astronaut is what they end up looking like. So he wanted that color scheme, and he's stuck with it. So not like physically stuck with it, he just like has enjoyed the color scheme. Okay, so we got that, just a little bit of shading. Let's get out just a smaller brush. We'll grab the rest of this and we'll just try to get this armor in here. How's everybody doing today? I think for all the Heresy players, tomorrow, if it's not today, if they haven't like sneakily put an update out in the past like 5 minutes, but tomorrow should be inductii rules. So if you've been waiting for some cool inductii, I hope they're cool rules. I hope it's not just like a special reaction for like a tactical squad. I hope they end up being pretty cool. So we'll see. See, a good chance to make a good like modeling opportunity. Probably gonna be tomorrow. Switch paints over the summer. Storm King Pro Girl Army Painter. I chose Army Painter. Yeah, so personally, JJ, you can make it work with any paint. All right, I'm not a fan of Army Painter. Just as a personal preference, I've had too many issues with them, and I've given them lots of tries, and I've just had so many issues. When I tried Pro Acryl for the first time, I used it for about 2 days, and then I basically dumped all my Citadel paint and bought the rest of the Pro Acryl line. So that was like my experience. And I have bought Army Painter stuff. I've bought I tried their speed paints twice with the 1.0 and the 2.0 stuff, and both times I was kind of disappointed. I do use it in one of my army color schemes, but I use their brown wash because it's super cheap, and I use a lot of brown wash, so that's kind of one of the things I do use from them a lot. But otherwise, like I'm not a fan of the range. Lolly D, welcome in. How you doing? Raja, welcome. All right, I gotta do this, guys, while we're waiting for stuff to dry. Gonna get these out, and I have some base toppers. Look at these good old base toppers. Yeah, so I'm just gonna glue these onto here. So let's get some glue out. Heck, is I'm moving next week. Feel weird to have all my hobby stuff away. It does feel weird, doesn't it? No, someone on YouTube they were just telling me they were decided whether to go with Army Painter or Pro Acryl, and I was explaining my thoughts. Someone told you Krieg are easy to paint. Who told you that? That is absurdity. Okay. Yeah, I had to pack up all my hobby stuff for like a house project earlier this year. I did not like it. I was very uncomfortable when everything was packed up. Was definitely not okay. Krieg minis are fun to paint. It's just they do take a lot of effort to paint. These are going to be bases for my Saturnine. I'll show you guys what I have going on with the Saturnine mini. I was messing around assembling this mini and made a decision on these Saturnine too. So, what's up, Zen? How you doing, man? Which faction do you think is easiest? You mean easiest to paint or collect, or what do you mean by easiest night trap? What do you mean? Night Trap is asking which faction do I think is the easiest. Boy, what do you have to do? What's going on, Future Snow? I'm waiting for some wash to dry, so I'm just putting some base toppers on bases. When I was waiting for the 3rd edition starter set to come out for Heresy, I already knew it was in the set. I knew the base sizes, so what I did was I printed all my base toppers, because all my minis go on base toppers, and I had tons of spare bases. I put them all on all the toppers on the bases, and I painted them all. But I didn't have the 50 mil bases I needed. I only had 2, and I think you need 7 for this set. So I have all of my bases ready except for these ones on the Saturnine minis. So it's really nice to paint the minis and then not have to worry about painting the base. I was able to get stuff finished ahead of time, so I felt like I was making progress on this 3rd edition stuff before the edition even came out. It was great, but I'm gonna slowly start getting these Saturnine together, so it'll be time for me to get these bases together too. Okay, easiest faction to paint and collect together. Necrons, hands down. With maybe Custodes. I mean, there's an argument to be made for Space Marines too, but as far as painting, I don't think there's a faction easier to paint than Necrons. Yeah, if you get a process down, you can knock out a really good looking Necron warrior in 10 minutes. Not including dry time, but like 10 minutes of actual brush time on a Necron warrior. That's crazy. That's you know, I don't even know what 10 minutes is. That's less than 2 hours that's an hour and a half basically for a fully painted squad. Yeah, you can't do that with any other army. Like, I know Custodes are easy, they're lots of gold, but Custodes also have lots of details on them. Yeah, the Custodes, I think you can go a lot further with the paint jobs. All right, so we got these bases put together, and that's that. And we're still waiting for this wash to dry. So we'll set these off to the side, which is great. Yeah, my experience painting Custodes is they were easier, but they still had lots of like little leather straps, and they had like their weapons are different colors and all this stuff. And the Necrons, like, yeah, they have different color weapons, but the big part of the Necrons is doing a metal, and which can all be one color metal, and then doing the glow. And you have a good looking Necron, and that's not even 10 minutes. I mean, you could theoretically do that in 5 minutes if you wanted to. Yeah, Custodes can be tabletop, super easy. Custodes are probably the cheaper army to collect just because you need so few minis. Yeah, I think Necrons end up with like, I don't know, it just seems like Necrons always get some kind of value box. Tyranids. Yeah, Tyranid models are surprisingly detailed. Alright. This is the Saturnine Terminator I have assembled. So I'll show you guys here. We'll zoom in a bit. I have a few opinions about this. The 3D print turned out great. There are a few gaps that are now completely hidden. So this back piece didn't fit completely flush with this front piece that I printed. But once I put the arms and the shoulders and the little mini shoulder pads and stuff, you can't tell. You literally can't see. I think maybe if you look at like one angle up and under, you might be able to see a little gap somewhere up there. But print turned out well. The head and the crest fit on really well. What's the difference between the 3D print and the regular? Well, I will show you some of the regular pieces here. So the regular chest piece, Alex Misfit, what's going on? So this chest piece has a scarab in the wing, so it's a Thousand Suns chest piece. This is the normal chest piece for Saturnine. It has like the Phoebian eagle or whatever it is on there, so it's almost like an Aquila. The head on my mini has the little Thousand Suns tuning fork bit. The regular head is really cool looking. It's got like a cool night vibe to it, but it doesn't have that. This top crest here is a Thousand Suns piece specific. And then the shoulders, they printed out as one piece. I think these are 4 or 5 pieces if you put them together in plastic. But this one has a Thousand Suns logo on it. And this one has a Thousand Suns logo, but it also has like runes etched in. If you look really closely in the glare there, they're carved into the armor. The back, I think, is the same. So mainly it's like the crest and, you know, the Thousand Suns iconography that's baked into the mini. I made this mini to fit. I assembled it so it fits flush on this base, which is really nice. Yeah, so it's not Imperial Aquila. That's the thing, Misfit. It's the Phoebian one, who are the people that designed Saturnine to begin with. So they had their own like eagle symbol. Yeah, that's why those are all over the place on the Saturnine things. The weapons on this. Oh, I'll put this out. Okay, so the hardest part about this mini has been deciding what weapons to put on, because I want a normal squad, but I don't know what weapons better. I know the disintegrators are really dangerous for you to use. The plasma cannons are like okay, but can be dangerous to use. I have a psychic power that reduces the overload damage possibilities, so like that's good, but it's not like 100%. Yeah, there's all kinds of things. And if I do a command squad, they have whole different weapon options. I don't know what's good and what's not. So the natural thing that I would want to do is to magnetize, because that's what I do. However, with these minis, I just really wasn't wanting to magnetize. So I did assemble some of the weapons. I put together this little plasma bombard here, and it fits right under his arm. It can also fit under this arm. Goes under there, and then I also put together this fist with the particle shredder on it, and that just sits on there, I guess, like so, or down here. Yeah, why not just do what looks cool? Yeah, and that's definitely like the thing. And I understand that. I'm not looking for like, you know, give me the best weapon. My thing is I want to be able to play what I want and still have it show up on the table. I don't like this fist just because of like how long it is. Like comes all the way past his knees, his hands. I don't know. It just looks kind of weird. So I think I've decided I'm going to try to magnetize this guy before I assemble any others. I am going to try to magnetize, and then I can just pop weapons on and off, and it'll be fine. And it's just basically magnetizing into a rounded concave or convex surface. But yeah, I think once I put the shoulders on, I think I liked these minis a lot less though. Without the big shoulder pads, they look great, and they still look super tough. The shoulder pads kind of take away from the menacing look because it just makes them look cartoony, I think, in a way. They do look better in person than in the picture, but just want to do base colors, wash, hit the eyes and tongue. Yeah, Night Trap, I agree with that. I mean, you could definitely do. You could just paint them like black and dry brush them a color, you know, and you got them, and that works just fine. But there are a lot of those minis are deceptively detailed. The Tyranids are. Play mini agnostic games. You can use rule cool and throw down what looks. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I start trim on champion or chain glue at champion. They look fine from the side, unlike the Dread. Well, yeah, and it helps that I staggered his feet too. He doesn't like a champion. Yeah, he doesn't look just like a pancake from the side, right? But I think they'll look cool once they're painted. They're chunky. They're big minis, and the resin definitely makes them heavier. So, just like no one. Yeah, you're right, Misfit. That's exactly what it is. It's just nostalgia bait. Yeah. Nostalgia bait for minis that never existed, right? I was listening to a podcast this morning. Let me get drink water real quick, guys. All right, I was listening to a podcast, and they were talking about the new releases coming out. So like the assault marines that are coming out, the Mark II assault marines that are insanely cool looking, and those, and they're like some of these minis, and they asked the question like, what if the third edition Heresy starter set had like those assault marines, like 20, 30 of those assault marines, and like some new terminators, like new like updated Cataphractii or Tartarus terminators, and they had some like more classic things instead of the Saturnine. How do you think that would sell compared to this set? Now, I don't think the set sold poorly, honestly. It seemed like in the end it sold really well. But yeah, I think if they put some more generic things in the set, it would sell like crazy. But also, maybe they thought that um, Saturnine stuff wouldn't sell on its own. So when you put it in the starter set, you have a portion of people that are going to buy it anyway. So that's just a way to push that stuff. And then you can release the Assault Marines later. I would love to have some Mark II Assault Marines, though. I'm honestly debating turning my last 10 Tactical Marines into despoilers. Even though I don't particularly like despoilers, but I have the chain swords and pistols, so I very well could. I probably will paint the runes with some kind of glow. Mirasaki, I mean, we'll see. I'll experiment with it, and we'll figure it out. They're bulky and goofy. They don't really fit the Heresy aesthetic. Yeah, they're kind of weird to put in there. There is a cool image of salamanders in the new campaign book, The Forges of Mars. And the salamanders had an entire company of Saturnine, and they show the company, and they like have all the squads named and everything. And it's actually pretty cool. And it's like that whole company was fielded on Istvan and was like wiped out to a man. But they were trying to put in work with those Saturnine Terminators, and that's pretty cool. Like I think they can work fine. I don't think they're as like quite as ridiculous as some of the 40k stuff, but way more movement. But I feel like the fifth element, Mondo Shawan. Oh, is that that's the race, right? The ones with the temple in the beginning. They are kind of like that, yeah. I watched the Fifth Element this summer. I had seen it plenty of times before, but I was watching. Me and my wife watched it this summer, and I think my thought from like it's like 2 minutes into the movie, um, was like, man, these dudes look like Saturnine Terminators. There you go, Zen. You should get yourself some Saturnine though. Give them all key fingers, yeah. They look like the aliens from the Fifth Element, like the good guy aliens, right? That use the Earth as like the key or whatever. Mondo Shawan. That just all gets smoked in present day. Yeah, yeah. One of them turns into Mila Jovovich. Yeah, I don't understand that either. It was an improvement, though. Yeah, not complaining, just curious. No one understands it, but we like it. Yep, yep. Would red horns work? Are you talking about on the mini that you're painting? What are you talking about with horns here? It's simply your Mark II's nice. Very nice. You have like 10 of them sitting on a sprue, and I'm just like, I have ideas of what I could do with them, but I'm not sure, and I want to wait until like something really, really inspiring hits. Figure out what I'm gonna do with them. Your Night Lord champion. Red horns might work. I don't see any issue with that. I need more black wash. So, we were talking about this yesterday, but I have decided. Uh, we did this. If you want your name on a Thousand Suns mini of mine, that'll go into battle with your name on their base. I have a way of doing that now, and I think that any money I raise through that is going to go toward buying a Fellblade. It's just going to be that simple. So all it is if you're a Patreon member, depending on your level, you'll just get something automatically, and I'll put a message on Patreon, let people know. Otherwise, you can either donate or give bits, and for 100 bits or $1 donation, you get your name on a troop choice, troop unit, a tactical marine, despoiler, assault marine. I'll let you choose. I'll give you ideas. We can message about it or something. or just tell me in the chat. I also have support squads, like heavy weapons teams and stuff. If you give $5, you go on an elite mini. So I have been filling up the Terminator squad at this point, and yesterday a bunch of people joined the Terminators. So my Terminator squad, I think, has, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 members of my first Terminator squad. But I also have other elite units as well, like my Kinatai Blades. So if you want to be part of the units, it's just bits. If you're a Patreon member, again, you'll get something. You'll get your name on there anyway. So I guess you can join Patreon. Join Patreon, $5. You can be a sergeant mini of one of these squads. So just let me know. And yeah, if how much to be a Centurion? I will say, I don't know. I only have a few Centurions, so I don't want to, like, it's gotta be an exclusive thing, like $20 to be a Centurion. Is that 2,000 bits? Or $20 donation? You'll be one of my Centurions. We'd like to have the Fellblade. 168 euros to stop me a lot. Yeah. I want that Fellblade. I want that mini. Looks really fun. No, five to be a Terminator. Just 5,000 bits or a $5 donation. You can be a Terminator or a different elite. So I have other elites, but I have 13 Terminators left. I think we got that. We got the weapons. Okay, so let's get the minis here. 500 bits. Is that 500 bits, not 5,000? Am I saying 5,000? My bad. One pays for the Fellblade. They have their name on the Fellblade. Yeah. We'll say we could say the top donor toward this goal gets to name the Fellblade. You guys did an awesome job naming my militia tanks, so like I have no problem letting you guys name that Fellblade. You know what though? Like, I thought it may have been an issue when we did the 12-hour stream, Raja, and people were naming stuff. You guys came up with the greatest tank names. Like, it was so much better than anything I could have ever thought of. So, as a group, we were much more creative than I can be. It can be Tanky McTankface if you want it to be. Yep, I do not have a Tanky McTankface. I do have a, this one's for Harry C. That's one of my tanks. I have a, Magnus did everything wrong. I have Ignis Day. I got some cool stuff. Yeah. There's Word Flame. Raja, yours was Tank Sinatra Jr. And I remember that mainly because it's the painting wise favorite, hands down. Like, she loves that tank. Dark Angels, the Wrath of Caliban? Yeah. So, that's what we'll do. You want to name a tank? I know. The militia crew in that Lehman Russ is salty about something. So, maybe being pushed into service overnight while Space Wolves are invading the planet or something, but it was great. I just ask that you keep the names, you know, clean enough that my son, who can read now, will read those tank names and not give me awkward and uncomfortable questions. That is my only request. The lion's breath, that's a cool one. That's also a weird one because it's like, is he breathing on us? What is he doing? What's Lionel Johnson doing right now? There was a guy at the at our learning day who was playing as he was using my Thousand Suns to play a game. And he did something crazy. It was like a Leviathan Dreadnought. He's like killing stuff. And he's like, man, he's like, I'm starting to think that this Magnus guy was all right. It's like he may have been right about all this stuff. Oh, Lehman or Us. Yeah, that's pretty funny. Yeah, being salty about stuff into Lehman or Us. That's true. Yeah. Who added me? Oh, okay, cool. Somebody posted their their progress on their Horse Girl racing game in general chat, and then they just deleted it. They're like, sorry, wrong server. Someone's got to name the Fellblade I Love Space Wolves. That's fair. Well, if no one else... So if we're doing that, the person that donates the most out of everybody gets to name it. Grumpy Insight is currently the winner with 1,500 bits. So he would get to name the tank when it gets funded. But we're about a quarter of the way there. I don't know. Look at my mini wandering picked. Absolutely. Yeah, almost a quarter of the way already. Extra day of doing that. So, let's see. Work in progress. Oh, wandering pick. That looks so good. That's such a good color scheme. Is that just one wing, like one arm on the thing? That's gonna take forever, but wow, that's fantastic looking. Now paint a whole Chaos Space Marine army like that. That'd be awesome. All right, we gotta let this dry. So yeah, I have. Let's see what kind of sprues I have left here. Yeah, I got two tactical marine sprues. I have these disintegrator sprues that I'm probably never going to use because I really don't care for disintegrators. A whole bunch of sergeant upgrade sprues. I have so many of those. I have the Saturnine Praetor. What if I just start assembling this dude while we waited for this wash to dry? You guys want to do that? We'll do that. Trim's gonna kill me. Yeah. Yeah, you're doing putting like a really nice gradient on it and everything, so you're gonna have a very fun time, aren't you? That looks like I might be able to use these 3D printed chest plate on this guy. Well, let's see. Let's mess around for a bit, shall we? While things dry. Primed the Death Marks I picked up last night. Got them for $25. Those are the Necron minis? Is that right? Nice. Death marks are cool. They're horrible to assemble, but they're easy to paint and they're really cool. I don't know. Snipers are cool. All right, we want 39 and 40. I got my nice fox bite clippers here. These are the good ones. Good use out of these. 39 and 40. There's 39. There's 40. Where is number 40? There's 41. These sprues are all over the place. Where are you, number 40? There it is. Okay. I'm going to bring that bright gold next to the blue, though. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Death marks are really cool. Send new clippers. Use my old AP ones at $12. Yeah. Yeah, they still work. That's true. Hey, Nextree. Welcome in. How are you doing? It's funny. It's like replacing the blade on your hobby knife, where you don't realize how dull it is until you replace the blade, and you're like, "What have I been doing this whole time?" That's what it's like using these Foxbite clippers next to my little my Knipex clippers that I have. GW's going a lot toward hover vehicles. I think some vehicles in Space Marine inventory should stay tracked. I agree. I agree, and you know, like we'll see what they end up doing, but it also looks like that GW is reverting a lot of the Primaris unique things. 32 and 33. There's 33. Oh, yeah, it's noon already. Like Gravis armor, you know, they're just putting Terminator armor back out. I think GW this past like 2 or so years has been playing real hard into nostalgia, and maybe overplaying their hand a bit. I don't know, time will tell, but well, we'll see. Haven't been kind to the snippers either. Yeah, I had Army Painter clippers for a couple years, and they ended up breaking on me. So I've never had a pair of clippers break on me like that. But you know, my experience with Army Painter, yada yada yada. Okay, we got that. We need... Well, those are different. Okay. 41, 42, 43. You know what? Let's take this piece off for now. You think they just hate me? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. There's 41. We'll clip out some of these other little bits. Can't remember which is which. 41, there's 43. We need 42, there's 42. So we're just waiting for some wash to dry, guys. That's all we're doing, putting minis together while it all dries. 34. Now I know what the pieces look like. It's a little easier. 35. And 36. As long as you don't twist them. Yeah, and they may have been twisted at some point, you know, or like maybe there was, yeah, something going on, but still the only pair of clippers I've ever had break on me. That's why Army Painter won't use me as an affiliate. Because they send me stuff, it'll just break and fail and mess up. Oh, I got some from a local hobby store. Yeah, yep. I've heard of people going through like really high quality ones really quick. It's, yeah, because of the way they get pieces off the sprue. But it's also why it's important to have like a sharp pair, right? A pair that can cut through things cleanly so you're not tempted to twist. Big chonky character. Okay, how do these go together? These pictures make no sense. We're gonna guess. Something like that, but this goes in. Oh man. What is that? What is that piece? Is it that? Go in. It doesn't show me how it goes in. Go against here. Ah, there it goes. Okay. All right. It sits on the outside right there. Put that in. They've been changed their yeah, they have changed their packaging recently. That's one thing that they do that's pretty cool is like they have really nice looking packaging. They definitely sell things as like a really premium product. I think the products are nice though. I have not had really any notable issues with anything I've gotten from them. Now they've sent me a lot of free stuff, so you know, take that as a disclaimer. You know, I'm not paying my own money for these things, but that's what she said. Thanks. Yeah. What's up, Sir Stroming Fish? Yeah, their sables are nice. They are definitely nice. Okay, we got chunky calves here. Right, okay, that's the appropriate leg. Those need to be glued in there, but I'm not going to glue anything into there yet, because I don't know how they're going to go on. Because I need a base to stand them on. Just put them on like this one. Should work. Feet right there or something. Does he have a tactical rock? That's right. He does come with a tactical rock, doesn't he? So we can put his leg up on a big tactical. Let's see. Let's see how this this tactical rock fits here. It's another day in paradise. Yeah. I get it. Happy Wednesday to you. I mean, that could work. I shave off the bullet shells. And we could put his foot up. I don't know if I want the foot up pose or not, though. Here's a hand. No, that's the same one. That one, yeah, it's just a matter of shaving bullets, or we just do it. We just do it without the. We'll just make it without the tactical rocks. That's the pose we'll do. I've shared this before. Hacking away a hive tyrant as an alien hive queen. Yeah, I picked up some spray cans from Natto Black, gray panel liner, and a bone white for the head. Nice. All right, Alex. That's cool. I remember you sharing about the alien hive queen. I do remember that. Okay, 37 and 38. It's the front and back of the feet. And then also 44 and 45. Maybe get some workable legs here, and then we'll check back in with our little Votann buddy. All right, have a good one, Mirasaki. Thanks for coming to hang out. Okay, the feet pieces. That's what I need. Okay, the real important piece is this one. It's like hips and waist and belly. Big Grumpy now. I told a friend I got the Helldrake to try out a new airbrush. She just wanted, if you want to practice, you can paint this terrain for me. I'll buy the paint. That's not worth it. What's up, Blue? How you doing? You in the office today? So these legs are set in place here. Interesting. Are those set in place? I don't think. Oh, that's backwards. These kind of are set. Okay, we can adjust it though. That's the key. If we put these two legs on here. Okay, that one doesn't even fit. Put that together wrong. In the office, yeah. Yeah, a lot of work for 3 pots of paint. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, painting terrain for 3 pots of paint. If only it were that easy to paint models. Okay, so if we did something like this, I don't think I'd want the legs straight. I think we cut this nub. I think we'll cut this nub as well. Before I glued, but I didn't, so too bad. Finished up a small piece of terrain last night. Oh, cool. Alright. She thinks the airbrush trivializes it. Yeah, that's too bad. These feet have little nubs in them as well. How do these little nubs go in? That's the question. And at the bottom of that foot is a nub that we don't want. What about this foot? That foot doesn't have a nub. And that doesn't have a nub at all. Okay. Yeah, it is on the more static end, but I do like it. Let's set some of these things up here. Make sure the foot is flat. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to set this guy to the side. We're going to put something. Let's see if my plastic glue work here. Power just cut out for a second? Oh no. Yeah, so blue, this is a more complete Terminator with the 3D printed torsos and shoulders and heads. So I spoke to the creator Sunday night. I got the welcome in, Amethyst, how you doing? And thank you for the lurk. You don't have to answer that because you're lurking. Spoke to him. I got the updated files for it because he doesn't like sell them anymore. So he did update the files. So I got the files updated, and I sent him. There were just a little bit of like it didn't line up flush, but all of that was covered by everything else in these minis. And this was a separate STL for shoulders. So this is a basic Saturnine Terminator that I may turn into a command squad, and I might just magnetize their weapons into their arms. We'll see. But yeah, they're heavy. They are chunky minis. Okay, let's take a quick look. It's looking pretty good. I think we can grab a dry brush. We'll come back to the Praetor here in a few minutes. Let's just set his things off to the side. Have my tactical rock. Doing shoulder shrugs at the gym. Yeah, they do. Yeah. You know, I was putting this mini together last night. I got his arms on and everything. I was like, man, this mini looks so good. And then I put the shoulders on. I was like, this does not look as good. Like, without the shoulders, the Saturnine Termies look great. And the shoulders kind of take away a bit from them, I think. Okay, we're gonna get some ivory, and we're gonna get just a little dry brush here. Dry brush paper towel. Oh, I just saw in a local Discord a player that I taught Horus Heresy to on Saturday, on our learning day. He bought minis and he already painted his first mini. Just posted a picture of it. That's cool. Proud dad moment. Positive influence. I try, dude. You know, I'm not like fully committing myself to like building a whole community and everything. It was a lot of fun. Teach people how to play and everything. When I was playing Star Wars Armada, I grew our local scenes Armada group from literally just me, and you know, we would have like 30 players at our peak there on a given like Monday night for Armada night and everything. That was a lot of work though, you know, and it was constantly like, you know, every week I was playing an intro game with someone and teaching them how to play and stuff, and it gets kind of tiring, you know. I get it. But yeah, I don't have the heart to do that for another game. Not to be the dude that's always doing all the things. I love just showing up and playing, you know. Right, it takes some perseverance too. Like, you got to be willing to just sit around and do nothing for a lot of nights if people aren't coming to play. Just getting these dry brushes on here. Almost done with this color. Really happy I base coated this many silver and not bone. I think that's the key with the vehicles. Your first color is the kind of skeletal structure on them. Because otherwise, you end up trying to paint underneath everything. And it's really tough. I have a game tomorrow. Attempt to bring Thousand Suns. Just Zangors, because I haven't finished any other Thousand Suns minis. The true Thousand Suns player here, just bringing Zangors. Yeah, the Zangor wave. You got Magnus though, right? Just Magnus and Zangors. The flood of useless. Oh, poor Zangors. You know, Zangors are in Warhammer Fantasy. I don't know if they're in the old world. I think you can do Tzeentch marked gores to make Zangors, but Tzeentch is a pretty decent mark. Okay, we got that. Work call. All right. Let's see. We'll move on that in a second, but first, we gotta put these little heel pieces in. Okay, feet are on that mini. All right, back to the Votann. Let's highlight some brown. browns out. It's way too much brown paint, that's okay. Just working on the brown here. Let's get a lighter brown. I'll just do the just get the fur on here. right. Brown is done. Let's work on our orange a little bit. So we'll highlight up into some Nova Orange. What are you guys working on? Anybody working on anything? You guys just chilling? Working on Aquilons. All right. Finish them as they're half done. Yeah, we've been kind of off and on with those for a while, haven't you? All right, Wandering Pick. You have a good one. Thanks for hanging out, though, and thanks for sharing your work. And I don't know if you're up super late and you want to join us in the Patreon hangout tonight. More than welcome. As I hope you know that you're always invited because you're a Patreon member. So. Okay. That's her little pants done. I think it's a lady. I don't know. It's a dwarf. Join at least for a little bit. Awesome. Awesome. Good to hear. Like if I don't love them on the tabletop, they're definitely detail creep. Yeah. Yeah. I understand, Raja. I understand. A lot of those like guard minis, the newer guard minis get to be like that. Okay, let's get out. Do some dark neutral gray here. Right, yeah, you want to go above and beyond, but that's hard to do because those minis just have so much happening with them. Hey, John Lockridge, how you doing this morning? Or this afternoon? It's afternoon now, isn't it? Yep. Welcome in. Doing some highlights here. Yeah, I'm sorry, it's not the weekend yet. I keep thinking it's Thursday, and it's not, which is bad enough. Yeah, definitely gonna finish this mini up. Start working on a bunch of little details here in a minute. Get the red. Something important to get soon. Before I do that, I'll put a little brown wash on the driving robot. A bit of depth. Was silly. More pointless meetings or work calls. Hey Greenleaf, what's going on? Oh man, you just won't quit with that, will you? How are you doing today, Greenleaf? What is next? We'll do some red. Okay, so I'll get. We'll do some burnt red. We'll get some red, orange. You go up there, you go down there. That's what we're doing. And we'll do some mixes. 50-50 is nice. How's this thing to paint? It's okay. It's okay. You're just trying to eat? Yeah, I get it. Cheese and cracker sounds good, though. Yeah, it's been fine. I think the assembly process, it wasn't any, like... There's no, like, significant difference between this and the other Votann vehicles, like the Sagittar. If you assembled a Sagittar, then like you'll be fine with this one. I do think the hull on this vehicle is better because you don't need like rubber bands to tie it down for its assembly. So, if I remember, the Sagittar had issues fitting flush when you're gluing like the top to the bottom or something. So. So yeah, without that, I guess I guess it's easier to assemble and a little better overall. Yeah, you got room for transfers on here. If GW is, especially on their 40K stuff, they're not big fans of flat panels that much anymore. You don't see them often. So it's nice to see some places where you can actually fit transfers. 95% of meetings are stupid, yes. I agree. Just as you go higher up, people just need to justify their job more and more. And meetings are the way to do that, I guess. Votann with their chunky vehicles, yeah. You don't like the flat panels. Flat panels are nice for transfers. That's what they are. But yeah, they can look wonky when painting them. If you can't get your colors smooth and everything. Or I guess it's just more difficult to make it look good overall. So I can understand. And not liking the panels. Yeah, airbrush is nice on the flat panels, though. Yeah. Okay, just a little simple highlights over the red there. Get some silver, some steel. I mean, blue, I'm as much a fan of wasting everyone's time and not doing work as anybody else. But yeah, I hear you. Meetings are the worst way to waste everyone's time. Yeah, man, that's like me going to the gym. When people sit there and they try to talk to me, I'm like, no, you just get away from me. Do not start a conversation with me. Like, I'm trying to be in and out of this place as fast as I can. I don't need this. Waste time, I'll waste it by myself and not with a group. Exactly. Yeah. I don't want to waste time with people. Definitely not at work. Alright, I do know we did, last time I painted a grav vehicle, we did a very simple, thin down contrast. And some of this this wash on here looks a little glossy. That's just because of, you mix the flow improver with contrast for some reason. It always ends up looking a little glossy, but it'll, not nice. I'm not nice. What are you talking about? Well, if you're heading out, see a green leaf. We're just talking about people wasting time at work. People working if I can, but generally speaking, I'd rather not. Let me work. Yeah, do something afterwards. Yeah. My face calls people's ideas dumb when they are. That's funny, Blue. You're just like, yeah. We go 2-to-1 thinner with this contrast. And we're just trying to put like a little blue kind of hue on these little grab things. Parts of my company are moving to webcams on. It's coincident my webcams are having a lot of technical issues. Yeah, as it should. Webcams always on is silly. How does this look? That's kind of strong. Maybe a little too strong. Webcam on is useful sometimes. Wish I had the authority to enforce that sometime. When is it useful? My draw. I'm curious to hear, because like my thought is like I don't see how it's useful unless you're like sampling a product and people need to see what the product looks like in your physical hands because you don't have pictures of it or something, and that's your meeting. You have employees that hid behind a camera. Your team has more than 6 people. The usual suspects participate. The others just sit and zone back collecting a paycheck. Yeah. But what if they don't, like, I don't know, if there's nothing to contribute? When I was in meetings, and this is kind of like when I would, volunteer or at jobs I've had, like meetings, if I don't have anything to contribute, like I don't have anything to contribute. Like I am definitely a fan of don't just speak to speak. Yeah, I'm also a fan of, we're at work to collect a paycheck, so. So they cannot be. Yeah. And I guess that's the way to do. Like if people aren't, if someone doesn't need to be there or have something to contribute, then, can it just be an email or whatever? I remember I worked at a job and I was a supervisor and I had been there for a few months and I was like, man, I have some ideas. So we had a meeting and I had ideas. I felt like I was, comfortable enough to share ideas I had to like help out like production to make things, you know, like more efficient and everything. And I shared my ideas and my boss literally laughed at me. And I was like, all right, I guess I am quiet. So I'm not gonna bother anymore. Yeah, yeah. Stop mandating icebreakers in your meetings. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree with that. Like, you know, just yeah. If you're adults and professionals, we don't need to play games and waste everyone's time doing it. Like just do the meeting. 30-minute meeting. Spend 20 minutes doing icebreakers. Ugh. Okay, little generic anti-gravity blue things activated, I guess. Should anyone tell them about one unknowable horror from the warp that you've encountered? Yeah. It's the best icebreaker. Alright, I'm gonna airbrush when I get to this. I'm gonna airbrush the lights on them. Not bad. I mean, it's simple. It's simple, but it's a little truck. Get some light bronze down. And I think tomorrow we'll paint Burry Agneson. What's his name? Burry? The Burry guy. I know my color scheme. We're not following the studio colors on him. I have no webcam and I must scream. That would be hilarious, though. You're just in a meeting talking about stuff, and there's just some no webcam guy. He just starts screaming into the microphone. Sleep every night in order to repress the memories of witnessing the drop site massacre. And I'm double jointed, yeah. Hey, if you're double jointed, make sure you're eating enough collagen as an adult. Because that can be a pretty debilitating disease as you get older. What is that called? It affects your digestion mostly, which is crazy. But it's a lack of, your body can't process collagen properly. Okay. Let's get back to this little tyke here. And we are going to pull out a chess piece and see if we got something that looks extra cool. What do we got here? I think this is one. We only have one of these. Yeah, this one. It just has like an orb on the front. Some people is colorblind. That invited even more questions. So I just tell them my favorite color. My favorite color is brown. because it's brown. Let's see. I think this one's fancier, and I think all the heads are the same. So we'll stick with that. We'll trim these pieces up. John, I'm awake through the entirety of my botched servitorization. Yeah, my lobotomy didn't work, and I remember every waking moment of my miserable existence. I also enjoyed brunch. Oh, there you go. All right. Icebreakers. Good job, everybody. A little bit of trimming on these different support pieces, and there's some of this that I know I need to trim down, but we will get to that soon, because I had to do it on the other one because it didn't fit properly. For the most part it was this, and no, it was this part in here. Yeah, let's get this back piece together and then we'll see how it fits. 6, 7, and 3. Is this our dude? Yeah, it's our dude. Okay. This is when I'm sad. Ground up humans turn into drugs when I'm bad. Okay, jeez. Favorite colors, gestures, everything, any one of these. Just pick one, it's my favorite color. My favorite color is, to me, a clear red. My favorite color is whatever kills my brain cells the fastest. Yeah. I've painted so many red minis, and red is like nowhere near my favorite color. I definitely prefer cooler colors. Hey, go for it, painting. Welcome in. How you doing? And Leaf Lizard, welcome in. How are you guys today? Okay, that fits right in there. Pops right in, good deal. So that's ready. Let's get this head, and I think the unfortunate thing about this head is I need to trim down the nub on the bottom here. If I learned anything, the first mini I assembled. How are you guys doing? Hopefully having a good Wednesday. Looks like that fits in, and that'll be good. Okay, doing good. That's good. Anything fun today? You just at work, getting some hobby done. What you up to? Finished painting a little Votann vehicle.
First of all, let me take just a moment to thank you for allowing me back into your home.
Working on assembling this mini here. Zeus 44,000. Thank you for the follow. All right, here's this piece. I need to. Does that not go? Okay, well, let's glue these in first. Then we'll try it out. Hey, Sith. Welcome in. How's everybody doing? Playing Throne and Liberty. What is that? I have not heard of that. I don't know. Oh, it's an MMO. Okay. What kind of, is it like a fantasy game? Is it sci-fi? Fantasy. Okay, cool. Very cool. This one has fewer gaps. You guys see that gap right there? That's the gap issue I had. Now there's a way to mostly solve that issue. And it's getting this piece flush back here. And the way we're going to do that, we're going to trim down a bunch of this. 2 corners. Trim down here. Would I have to build Torgaradon before? How easy are smaller arms of the Pauldron? His head to replace? That's a good question, man. I don't know if Zendral's still in chat. I know he built and painted Torgaradon a couple years ago. I have never messed with the mini, unfortunately. I don't know if I could help you with that. Working on a Necron army, very cool. What kind of color scheme are you going for? Like the classic, or are you finding something else to do? That should help some. Definitely fitting more flush. Still getting stopped at some point. nubs that don't quite line up with the plastic. Gold is secondary. Death metal is primary. Greedy gold, death metal, white purple for the... Oh, cool. All right. That sounds fun. What color range is that? Like army painter colors, or I'm not quite familiar with those color names. He's not a push fit model. Shouldn't be too bad. His cape only attaches to the big arm. Worst case, you'll have the green stuff a bit under the pauldron. Yeah. All this will be hidden. So, we just need to make sure it fits well. Almost flush. What am I hitting here? It is that thing. Sharp corners don't quite fit. This is when I'm going to take my time assembling this squad, because they're just taking a bunch of time. Oh, there we go. Okay. All right. That's much less of a gap that you can see. Kind of has one. It's not hitting there. Maybe these things, I'll cut these down just a little bit. Yeah, it seems like they fit in there pretty well. Let's go ahead and glue this. Generic tilt shield. If you have a sprue, yeah. Oh yeah, because it's got a specific Tor Garradon. It's a specific one. Purple's the contrast paint. The rest is army painter. Okay, okay. I thought I recognized Greedy Gold as a color name. Okay, so that's going together. We're just using some super glue on that. Again, we have these gaps. We could fill these gaps, but these gaps are not going to be visible at all by the time we're done. So it's just kind of wasting time filling those gaps. A lot of that stuff will be covered. And we can go ahead and we can put his head on. And we can also push that into place really well. All right. So, as of right now, he's just assembled like a normal Saturnine. Terminator. He's got the extra fancy head crest though, so that's nice. We are going to get this back piece. We need 8, 9, and 10. Put 9 on the right, 10 on the left. Okay, I don't think I need that super glue right now. Space Marine detachments, Ironstorm spearhead, Ambulance. Yep. There's no rule on how to pay them. Yeah, that's fine. No, you can. Yeah, you can run any detachment as any Space Marine chapter. That's kind of the idea. It's like a Space Marine chapter has the force to do different things, right? It does look like with the characters and the new combat patrols coming out that they are putting out new detachments that are kind of replacing the original kind of generic ones. That's what it looks like, at least. Because like they replaced the first company one, and the one they replaced it with is very much it might even be, is it called Imperial Fist, or is it, can't remember if it's like specifically coded to Imperial Fist, but they're doing that, which like it seems like it's pretty good anyway, but it's just like you get an extra boon if you run the new character with it. Okay. Torso assembled, and again, parts to be hidden. Extra attachments that require their named character. Yeah, they don't require their named character or chapter, I'm pretty sure. I didn't think they required their chapter to be played. It just, they got an extra bonus if that named character is played. Right? Am I crazy with that? That's what I thought I saw. Okay, legit. So this guy gets... He led by an Iron Father, Peter. Okay. Yeah. We're doing the cloth and not the chain, not the terrages. Not doing those. We're gonna do that one. Yeah, because we want the fancy belt. Like that, and we can do this guy on here. Yeah, let's do that. Cool. He's going together. I do not have his arms assembled yet. I'm Definitely gonna make him with the axe because the axe looks cool. Gotta assemble these arms first. Okay. 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces per arm. Okay. 54, 5, 7, 8. So 54. And the others, there's 55. Okay. 55. $57, $58, and just to have things cut out here. So I get 60 for step 2 and 56. When I imagine, Sith, that when the new Iron Warriors character and Combat Patrol comes out, that there's going to be a new detachment for the, is it the Iron Storm? Yeah, that'll get a whole new detachment. That's kind of updated. Goes like that, but that's a rough piece to glue. Okay, and then we use them, they go into the elbow. And this looks symmetrical. Now one kind of hole is bigger than the other. That's the big one. That's true, yeah, because you would have expected the Iron Hands to get the siege force, the Ambulant Siege Force, but they didn't. They updated the First Company veterans with them. Hey, Clicks, how you doing? Football as well. Games Workshop hates Imperial Fist so much that they won't even update their detachment with their own with their own minis. Like when they get their minis, it's just pretty funny. Painting Dark Angel's nice. All right, 46, 47, 49. There's 47. There's 46. 50 and 49. $48 and $53. There's $48. And there's $53. Yeah. Firepower I like. This direction needs to die kind of approach. Yeah, that's fair. That's kind of Iron Storm's thing, right? Well, guys, I am doing a little thing right now. If you want your name on one of my Thousand Suns minis, we are doing that for bits. So it's just real simple. If you give 100 bits or a $1 donation, either one is fine. I will put your name on the base of one of my Thousand Suns like basic troopers, so Tactical Marine, Assault Marine, Heavy or Special Support guys, one of those minis. We'll get your name, I'll write it on the base, and whenever I play games, I'll bring the mini with me, and it'll see glorious combat. If you donate 500 bits or $5, you can be on one of the elite miniatures, so Terminators or something. We have Terminator squad is filling up, but I have a second Terminator squad and I have some other elite infantry, so we'll find a place. Find a place for you regardless, but get your name on there. And then yeah, if you really want to be one of the characters, one of my hold on, I'm trying to figure out what's what here. That doesn't look right. That one fits. You want to be a character or something, so a Centurion or something like that, then yeah, just a $20 or 2,000 bits is what we'll say there. So just something random for people that want to participate in the army a little bit. And like I said, I'll bring these minis to the table with me, and I plan on using that money as like a goal to raise money to buy a Fellblade, Legion Fellblade. Okay, so these arms go down something like that. Interesting, there's not like wiggle room in these elbows like there is most of these Marine minis. We've given names to drones for $5. Yeah, if you want to name one of my tanks, we'll just say $10 to actually name a tank. I have a lot of tanks in my army, but no, I don't have any drones. Okay, we are doing option 2. So it is a, here we go, 70 and 72. It's 22. You know what? I might be on the wrong sprue. Let's get out the weapons sprue here. Whatever we want that is, yeah, that my son can read and I do not have to answer any awkward questions. So okay, we need piece number 59. Finally done with silver base colors. Now on to some speed paint. Very nice. Alright. You'll have them done soon, Raja. And then the axe is just straight up, yeah, just one piece. One piece for this giant axe. My favorite, yeah. You probably can, but I don't know if that sounds uncomfortable to explain that to my son also. Dad, what's that? Some people, son, feel like girls should be horses. And that's just that's an uncomfortable conversation. You have light bronze trim? Yeah. Oh no. That's gonna take forever. It's just 10 minis, Raja. You got this. Yeah, no, I'm not ready to explain furries to my son. Yeah. The arm is just like, it's like slipping off. What are you doing, arm? Japanese racehorse. I could say that. Yeah. Yep. You're right. I very well could. Should have glued that weapon in there first. They do look cooler without the big shoulders, don't they? Yeah. This mini looks so good how he is. You know, it's funny. I might just end up reverting back to like my original position, which is I'm just never going to field them in battle because they look goofy. Spent all this time painting and assembling and magnetizing and printing parts and all this stuff, and then I'm just going to be like, nah. Hey, Butterscorch, what's up? Sevatar 10 Terror Squads, 10 Terror Squad, 2 Tacticals, 2 Rhinos, 1,000 points even. Oh, nice. Oh, there you go. That's solid. Can you field that? Oh, that's just one. Those are all troops, aren't they, Zen? Aren't Terror Squads troop choices? That's absurd. Yeah, the fact that your special troop choice is just like an actual troop. Ah. Yeah, we should have put this arm on, this hand on first. Okay, you go there. Well, now it's just being difficult. Let's wait a few minutes. Let some of this glue dry a bit. Shoulder pad was pulling up on it and everything. You have hatred infantry. I think it's +1 to wound against infantry, but I think it's like shooting and melee.
First of all, let me take just a moment to thank you.
Hey, Weeksy, welcome in. Start painting a Battletech me today. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, the 3 flamers will do well. And the thing about the flame, especially having 3 of them, I don't think you're ever going to have an issue causing status checks with the flamers, just because they don't have to fail a save. You just have to like inflict a wound. That's it. So it makes it pretty easy to get those status things off. Yeah, and they have fear 1 and their panic 1. I think so people are -2 leadership when you inflict a wound. Yeah, it's the status stuff will be good. Yeah. You painted your Battletech mini yellow. Nice, Butterscorch. Weeksy, what you up to? How you doing? I am just assembling a Saturnine Praetor at the moment. How does this? I believe that goes there. They literally don't show you. Oh, okay, they do. They have like a separate picture. Oh, weird. Is that supposed to go there? That's wild. They made this so you can't change the pose on the arm if you want this. I'm not putting this cable here. I can't. Because if I want him aiming his gun, I can't use this. Unless there's like, they tell me there's like another optional way. No, there isn't. So I'm not heating up. I'm just not going to put it on. This plasma gun is fine how it is. There's no like attachment piece on it that's missing. So we'll just let that go. It's like with the Chaos Havocs. Whoops. No, don't fall. Just like straight tumbles around, doesn't he? Okay. We'll let him sit there. It's resting on the bottle cap there. Are there Legion specific rules for Saturnine? There is one Legion specific Saturnine squad, and that's the Word Bearers. And I can't remember what they're called, but they literally take demons and they shove them in the armor and trap them in the armor and then like unleash them. So that's the Word Bearers specific Saturnine. And then Thousand Suns have a nice interaction with Saturnine where I get a unique psychic ability that can help Saturnine specifically with their weapons, since they all like overload, like gets hot kind of thing, or what's it called, hazardous in 40k. It's something similar to that, and I can try to ignore that with a psychic ability. Yeah, so, or I can heal a wound. That's the two powers in that discipline. Other legions have different bonuses to theirs. So, there's, yeah, like Iron Hands, they're like, you're -1 strength when you're shooting at them. There's Space Wolves that set up 2 inches further when they charge. I think White Scars just move 2 inches further. Like, that's just what they do. So, yeah, there's a lot of different, like the Legion abilities affect all the Saturnine Terminators and make them different, but the Word Bearer is the one with a unique squad. Let's see, where does that go? Let's go inside the shoulders. So let me see these shoulders. Oh yeah, they got a little nub for them, don't they? Turn the axe and the staff. I do plan on using staves for melee weapons for my Saturnine. I'm gonna print them, basically. I'm not gonna mess around with altering the plastic or anything, but I figure I'd just stick this guy with the axe. It'd be fine. He's got his cool power fist and he's got an axe. But yeah, if I use the right kind of staff with like sharp parts on it, then I can claim it's either the axe or the hammer that they get. Yes, Butterscorch. This is a type of Terminator. It is a Saturnine Terminator. Oh, I have to get his little belly piece there, don't I? 31? Yeah, I think piece 31 is what I want. Is that on here? No. It's right there. You play Dark Angels? Nice. In Heresy or in 40k? Weeksy. That he's gonna stand there. Seems like a nice mini. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I 3D print a little bit to him for him to make him look a little more Thousand Suns. I might. Oh, do I add the? Let's see. Let's see something here. If we do these same 2 shoulders that we put on the other mini, we're going to sit right there and right there. clean them up. Add something on top, place of a spike. It would add to the staffiness. Yeah, I could. I do like this axe, though. It's a really cool axe. Well, yeah, so it's not about printing a weapon for him. It's about printing a weapon for the basic squad. So they don't come with melee weapons. They have a fist, like a power fist. But if I wanted to turn them into a Saturnine command squad, you would give them melee weapons. But the only melee weapons that are available from Games Workshop are in this Praetor kit. So you literally are supposed to take the axe and the fist and the thunderhammer out of this kit and equip it to like 3 to 6 Terminators, which is insane. Like that's so much money for the squad. I mean, it's nice. It's nice that they add a kit bash squad and stuff, but the basic loadout for that squad is 2 power fists. The only right-handed power fist is on this mini. So you would have to buy multiples of this mini to even outfit a basic command squad. So that's where like 3D printing really comes in handy. And it's like if I'm going to 3D print axes and hammers, I might as well just print those as, you know, Thousand Suns themed staves and everything. But I'm kind of waiting for there's a creator or two I'm watching that might come out with some more Thousand Suns themed Saturnine bits that would interest me. So I'm just kind of waiting for that. And like I said, the right kind of staff would be really cool because it would be, you know, a large bludgeoning weapon, but if you put like sharp bits on it, then you can kind of just say it's an axe or a hammer. And it would work as far as WYSIWYG goes. Because I plan on magnetizing my Saturnine. So I guess I just can't not magnetize things anymore. All right. We can wait. Let's wait for these shoulders. That falling. That is falling. Let's get you up like that. Get you under there like that. Okay. We're gonna wait for these shoulders, and I think we might call it there for the day. I have it was nice to get some work done on that. We painted up this guy. I'm gonna do a little bit with like lights and stuff on him. I'm gonna survive, little dude. But this little frog car is basically done. Tomorrow we're gonna start painting Bury Agneson. So we basically have a Tyrannid and a Votann to paint tomorrow. So paint him tomorrow, finish him by Friday. Should be good to go. Nothing too crazy. Continue the Thalax. That's awesome. That's super cool. Your Thalax are looking great. I am enjoying seeing what you're doing with those. And tomorrow the Inductia rules should be out for the Heresy players. Yeah, let's see who's on here. Cryo Cheese. We rated Cryo Cheese not too long ago, didn't we? We got Glorious Badger. We can rate Glorious Badger. There he is. It's been a while since we've rated him. Alright. Guys, thank you so much for coming to hang out. I'll be on tomorrow around 11 a.m. Eastern, and yeah, we'll be back painting more Votann, hopefully finishing up another mini, we'll see. But you guys have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you all tomorrow. Don't forget, Patreon Hangout is tonight. Any paid Patreon member, just connect your account to Discord. You just connect those two, and then you can join in on those channels that we have. So you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Bye, YouTube.